This is Locked On Bets, the daily betting show that means business from the Locked On Podcast Network. Hosted by Lee Sterling and Kevin Rogers, they're dropping fearless picks with an inside edge to put money in your pocket. If there's action, they've got the lock. This is where smart bets start. It's Locked On Bets.
Welcome to the Monday edition of Locked On Bets. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. And as always, we appreciate you making Locked On Bets your first listen of the day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Got plenty to go over today. So Sports Equinox, we have baseball, we have football, basketball, hockey here on this Monday. And also want to remind you of this. We have started with shorts now on our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets. And Lee had several selections over the weekend, including hitting the Memphis Tigers on Saturday as one of his bets, also Michigan State as well. So check out those shorts. They're less than a minute long. They're quick. They're easy. So check those out, and we will continue to have more of those throughout the week. So, Lee, without further ado, we have the World Series coming up, Game 3, Dodgers-Blue Jays. We'll get to that in just a little bit as they head out to L.A. now. Series all tied up at one game apiece, but we do have Monday Night Football, and we're going to begin today with the lock of the day.
Open it, open it, open it! Lee has the key to the lock of the day.
You can't predict injuries, but you kind of felt like from a mile away you could see after what the Washington Commanders did last year and their magical run to the NFC Championship before losing to Philadelphia, that maybe they played a bit over their heads, and now Jaden Daniels a little bit banged up. He's missed a few games. He's missed 2 already. Marcus Mariota has come in to start twice, and now he's going to start again in Kansas City against the resurgent Chiefs, who were left for dead after a few weeks, but now the favorites, or one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. So, Lee, the Commanders and the Chiefs in Kansas City tonight, you like a Marcus Mariota prop.
Yeah, and so let's just look at the last couple games, throwing a couple interceptions. And you're like, okay, quarterbacks throw interceptions. But when you look back over his career, when he's been a starter, had a lot less success against better teams. And since that season, 2016, his second year in the NFL, when he went 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, it has not gone well for him. The next year, how about this? 13 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Next year, Tennessee again, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Then didn't play much for a couple years. He shows up in Atlanta and starts 15 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in only 13 games. So he's one of these guys against better competition, can't seem to muster up a big game and can't avoid an interception. He's without a couple of his key receivers. As we know, he's playing, if not one of the toughest defenses here in Kansas City. They mix up their coverages. They're probably going to be playing from behind. They're a double-digit underdog. So this is a great situational play here. My algorithm has him a full interception here. And I mean, playing on the road, I just think they're going to be trailing. And when you're trailing, got to throw the ball a lot more. And like I said, Kansas City's cornerbacks, boy, these guys, ball hawks, and also even their linebackers and their safeties really good at tipping balls. And if they tip balls, probably going to intercept them. So we're going to go with Marcus Mariota to throw an interception, minus 155. That's going to be my lock of the day right out of the gate.
Yeah, and this Chiefs team, we talked about it, Lee, that they all of a sudden now are back, and everyone, they were trying to poke the sleeping giant. They were trying to say, you're dead, you're done, and that wasn't the case. The Chiefs, I mean, even throw out that Jacksonville game, they were up 14-0. I mean, they're really doing well, and that was one that they stubbed their toe in, but still the Chiefs are playing very well, so that will wrap up Week 8 tonight. And to look back at what we saw from Week 8, we'll start with NFL and we'll get to college football in a moment. But number one, the New York Jets, welcome to the table. You finally won a game. A couple notes about that. So the Bengals, they led by double digits, Lee, 5 separate times in that game on Sunday. But yet the Jets, for as bad as the offense had been, and Woody Johnson called out Justin Fields, he played great. Breece Hall was amazing. No Garrett Wilson. No Sauce Gardner. They went 7 of their final 8 possessions scoring points, which is unreal. And you know what? You got to give the Jets a lot of credit. And for the Bengals, off that win over the Steelers, you thought, okay, maybe they'd be building something. It's just an inexcusable loss.
It is. I mean, watching their defense, the holes that were open, guys couldn't get off blocks. Defensive backs, I mean, weren't even close to making plays. Guys were catching the ball. We're talking about the Jets, all their receivers. These are guys on most other teams that are 4s, 5s, and 6s on their team. These guys are not even seeing the field unless there's an injury. So that was absolutely shocking. Now, Zach Taylor, does the offense. So really wasn't his fault, but he's going to fall on the sword because, they just acquired and their defensive coordinator, Al Golden, not able to do the job. Just horrific. They needed to put pressure on the quarterback. Even when they did, the few times Justin Fields just ran away from him like it was nothing. So I think Zach Taylor probably a goner now. So that was I actually had that for my clients. So that was a very frustrating game. Kept thinking whenever we got up double digits, we're going to be fine. Closing line was 5.5. Yeah, the line was fishy. And turned out the Jets not only covered, won the game outright.
Staying in the AFC North, the Ravens, they saved their season 2 by beating the Bears, and still no Lamar Jackson. And he had practice Friday, but yet he was with the scout team, and there was some inconsistencies there with the injury report. So Lamar didn't play yesterday. Tyler Huntley, former Dolphin great, he was in there for Baltimore. And look, I don't know if the Ravens are going to make any waves, but you lose that game yesterday. You can stick a fork in them, you're done. You win. Now, maybe whenever Lamar comes back, you have a shot to go make a run.
Yep. So Tyler Huntley, who's usually awful, he'd only been there a short period of time. It wasn't like he started training camp with him. He obviously knows the system. He's played there enough. But if you watched him with the Dolphins last year, he was unwatchable. So they might have saved their season. Problem for the Bears was first 2 drives, go right down the field and have to settle for field goals. You gotta punch it in. You gotta get a lead. You gotta knock out a team like that and say, hey, we're up 10-0, 14-0. You're not going to get involved. But Baltimore did get almost all their other starters back. So give them credit. Bad loss for Chicago where you're playing a backup quarterback who's not good. I think at one time Huntley was like 11 for 12 and 12 for 13. So, every dog has his day.
Now, going back to the Steelers for a moment in the Aaron Rodgers revenge game, it looked all right early, but then Jordan Love really caught fire in Green Bay. Nice win for them. Considering the fact, you look back, they should have beat Cleveland. They should have beat Dallas, and they tied one of them and lost the other. That Green Bay, I feel like, is kind of a team that's flying under the radar a bit among some of the other big names in the NFC with the way, the Eagles now have won a couple in a row. The Lions have played well. They were off yesterday, the way the Rams have played. But I feel like Green Bay is just kind of like under the radar a little bit with the way they're playing.
I agree. And that was the first time really since opening night where they played Detroit and they punched Detroit in the face. So give them credit. Usually they start real strong. LaFleur, who's the head coach and also calls the plays, has 15, 20 good plays. And then they seem to hit a funk. But I thought his play calling second half was masterful. Officiating was horrendous. Let's be honest. I mean, I think Pittsburgh kind of lost their cool. I think they were 3rd and 7. The first drive, either the first or second drive of the second half, and Aaron Rodgers thinks he's drawn the defense offside, and the replay clearly shows they're offsides, and he throws the ball downfield. It's incomplete, almost caught, but as soon as they decided that there was no penalty and the officials came together, I think they knew they made a mistake. They lost their cool, and Green Bay, did the job. There was also a very questionable push off by the Green Bay tight end. But the officiating, the Giants lost their cool. Let's be honest. After they thought they had recovered a fumble on the tush push, probably should have been there. There was also in the New Orleans game, New Orleans had fumbled and looked like Tampa Bay picked up the ball, ran for a touchdown. They said inadvertent whistle. They played the highlights. Looked like there was no, you couldn't hear any whistle at all. So the officiating was horrendous. The only thing we didn't see, and we might see next week, is close games. Usually you see teams win it with a walk-off field goal, a great finish, a touchdown at the end. None of that, as far as I can remember. We also had the week where we had all the blocked field goals at the end of the game. So one of the most anticlimactic endings to all the Sunday games. So next week, probably prepare. That's what usually happens. What happens one week, you don't see the next. So you're probably going to see a lot of games fall on the number 3. And if you listen to my shorts and watch my shorts on YouTube, I have a game today. You do want to check out this short. I have a game in the NFL you want to bet right now, because as the week goes up, it's going to go maybe from under that 3 number to over the 3 number. You're going to get the best of the number and maybe walk away with a win.
And also, too, the Bengals, they also could have had a route, too, and they were the only ones to have a close game because their defense couldn't stop anybody. So you could have all routes across the board. The Dolphins won yesterday, big win over Atlanta, so really didn't see a lot of close games. Now, going back to Saturday, well, I guess Saturday, then into Sunday with Brian Kelly getting let go at LSU, it kind of just had to happen. I mean, you can't, it was like the James Franklin thing at Penn State. You just can't keep losing these games and saying, oh, it's okay, they'll get them next week. Now, understandably, James Franklin lost to UCLA as nearly a 4-touchdown favorite, and Northwestern is a 3-touchdown favorite at home, where LSU is losing to good teams in the SEC. You can't really fault him for that, but he just never really got this program where they should be. He's been good, but they need to be great.
Well, they had a couple injuries. Okay, so did I think he was the right fit for the team? No. Thought it was, you could tell pretty quick he was not the guy. But you're going to fire him now. You're going to fire him this year. You're going to have to pay off with the assistants probably mid $60 million, maybe close to $70 million. You better have that right guy in your pocket. And let's look at the teams they lost to. All 3 top 10 teams. Vanderbilt, now top 10. Mississippi, top 10. And Texas A&M, which will be ranked number 2 and maybe should be number 1. And he did it with a makeshift offensive line. I believe there's a couple freshmen in there. I know there's a true freshman left tackle who got brutalized without his best receiver. So he didn't have all his guns. Hey, they did lose by 20-something points, but it was to maybe the best team in the country. And the other losses were by 5 and 7 points. So unless they have someone in their bag, a John Gruden, someone, that no one's thinking about, that they've already talked to the agent and it's pretty much going to be a done deal, they might have made a mistake. So Penn State and LSU, probably the best 2 jobs out there, but who knows if they have the best guy.
So much money too they're paying out, which is just and you see these contracts and the buyouts, and just get that contract, and then whatever happens. And I hate to say they're not trying to win championships, they're just going to collect the money, but you could say, oh, well, you know what, James Franklin, you can keep the $49 million Penn State. I don't need that $49 million. I didn't do a good job, so I'm just going to let you keep the money. Like, no, you're going to take the money. So it's ridiculous. And we'll see what happens really quick before we look at some NBA. Ole Miss, good win for them, beating Oklahoma. They bounced back after the Georgia loss. So now Ole Miss, Vandy with their win over Missouri. Telling you, I mean, Alabama should have lost to South Carolina. South Carolina blew that game. But these other teams, they're still right there. Where Ole Miss, Vandy, we'll see what kind of noise they can make once the college football playoffs come around.
And then on top of that, the teams, there will be one team that's not a Power 4 conference team make it to the playoffs. Maybe we might see one of the worst teams ever make it. It's going to be probably Memphis, who now beat South Florida. Their only loss was UAB when they lost their quarterback early in the game. They went out. They might be that team. Or Boise State. And Boise State, they just can't compete with the Notre Dames of the world. And then is Deion done? He just looks like he doesn't care. His team got blown out. I think he collected that 8, 9, 10 million, whatever he got this year. I would expect him to retire at the end of the year. So watch these teams, like LSU, these coaching staffs, they know that they're going to be gone. Are they really going to put all their effort into winning a game? Or are they going to be on that phone trying to line up their next job?
Florida, too. We got to look at with the Gators as well, with all the changes that they've made. Coming up, we will take a look at the NBA, a couple games for tonight. Also, didn't forget about the World Series Game 3. It's getting interesting now. So the Dodgers get blown out in Game 1. They rebound in Game 2. So now out to LA for Game 3. We have a prop coming up. All of that is straight ahead. You are listening to Locked On Bets. Time now to talk about FanDuel. That is right. You know why? Because NFL season is here, and FanDuel is an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5. If it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. And what can you bet on? So many things. Chiefs Commanders coming up tonight in Kansas City. You want to bet on Patrick Mahomes, maybe his yardage prop, his touchdown prop. You look at the Washington side, Marcus Mariota now starting for Jaden Daniels. You'll get bet on some Mariota props as well. Also, Mahomes, he is the favorite to win the MVP at FanDuel, and the Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorites. Look at that. Go from 0-2, their season being done, to now being the Super Bowl favorites right before Halloween. And also, among the other favorites for MVP at FanDuel, Josh Allen of the Bills, Drake May of the Patriots now. So if you think Mahomes may not win it, you could bet on some of those other guys and get some good value as well. Bet on the AFC, NFC champion. All of that is available, player props, all at FanDuel. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. We continue here, Locked On Bets on a Monday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. The sports equinox today. We won't talk any NHL. There's 2 games today, and tomorrow you have the full slate. It's the Frozen Frenzy. Everybody plays, so I know Lee's looking forward to that tomorrow. But coming up tonight, we have a pair of NBA games, and let us begin with our big NBA blowout special.
Oh, boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
Before we get to the blowout specialty, let's do an old pat on the back. Atlanta Hawks, Friday night, money line winner over the Orlando Magic. Called it here on the show. Trailed early, but they came back. They showed a lot of fortitude, and the Hawks came back and won that game. So about a plus 170 outright dog. Nice win on Friday before we get to tonight's game.
Yeah, we love it. We both were on that. So, just was one of these perfect situations that we loved and took advantage of it.
So now we go to tonight, and I am on a favorite. So I'm going to lay the 1.5 with the Phoenix Suns tonight on the road. They're in Utah against the Jazz, and the Suns, first off with them, we know they're rebuilding. The Jazz are rebuilding too. But Phoenix, they came back to beat Sacramento in the opener, down 17 at the half, came back and beat the Kings. Then the next 2 games, they went on the road to play the Clippers, got blown out. Went on the road to Denver, got blown out. And the Nuggets were off a loss to Golden State in the opener, so you kind of expected Denver would bounce back. So now they're a short favorite here against Utah. And the Jazz just lights out in that opener against the Clippers at home. And then they played well against the Kings in Sacramento, ended up losing that game by a point. They covered both the games as a heavy dog. Now, just a short dog here. Phoenix swept Utah last year. Understandably, no Kevin Durant anymore. He's in Houston. But I just think that the Suns, this is a good spot for them against a team kind of more on their level after playing 2 teams that are way better than them, the Clippers and the Nuggets. So we're going to go with the Phoenix Suns tonight, lay the short number with them against the Jazz in Salt Lake City as our blowout special.
Okay. Love it. Think you're on the right side there. I follow the Jazz a lot, Mountain Utah a lot, and they're just not that good. First 2 games they played well. They probably should be 2-0, but right. Now they'll start coming back to earth.
All right, now let's shift to tonight's NBA Hidden Gem.
To find a diamond in the rough, you need to dig a little deeper for those hidden gems.
Boston Celtics, they are winless out of the gate. And they go to New Orleans to face the Pelicans, who are also winless out of the gate. And Boston, of course, no Jason Tatum. He's sidelined with the Achilles from last year against the Knicks. And the Hornets, they've been a little competitive with Zion. They've been we know they're not that good, but at least they've been a little competitive. So what do you like here, Lee, with New Orleans and Boston?
All right, so Jason Tatum's done for the year. I do not think that Boston is going to make any effort to try to get into the playoffs and to do any damage there. So I think they're just going to try to play it all out. I don't see Jason Tatum coming back even at the end of the season. So Jaylen Brown did play in the game yesterday, had a hamstring issue, and gutted it out at Detroit, big rival for them. And on top of that, you look at the roster. This is a really bad roster. They really made no acquisitions in the offseason, let Al Horford go in free agency. I mean, Hauser's, Tim Hauser's one of their best players. He's maybe their third option. Are you kidding me? Zion Williamson, think he's determined this year, obviously, contract year. 27 points in that first game. Watch that game. 9 rebounds. Jordan Poole also had 17 points in that game. Problem was they were out-rebounded, 59-45. Just desire. Rebounding is blocking out and going to the ball. I bet you they watched a lot of tape here. Whereas Boston played yesterday, they've been off since Friday here. That 4-point loss, which probably not too shabby a loss to San Antonio, who started the season guns a-blazing. So I like New Orleans here. They're favored by 2 points. They're favored for a reason, situationally, and I think they have more talent than Boston, believe it or not. So I'm going to lay the 2 here. It's going to be my hidden gem. We're going with the New Orleans Pelicans tonight over the Boston Celtics.
You almost slipped there. You almost said New Orleans Jazz.
Yeah, almost.
It's funny is when you said it earlier. I think you're gonna say, "Oh, the New Orleans Hornets." I would have been like, "Okay, I would have accepted that." I mean, Jazz. I mean, we're kind of aging ourselves with Pete Maravich, so we're going kind of way back in the time machine a little bit. But anyway, so the Pelicans tonight, you like them against the Celtics. So a couple NBA plays, and we have baseball coming up. World Series Game 3. What do we like here with the prop? That is straight ahead right here on Locked On Bets. Locked On Bets continues here on a Monday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. We saved the best for last. Well, they're all the best. I mean, we don't want to say the worst was first, so it's kind of a silly saying. But the Blue Jays and the Dodgers out in L.A. for the next 3 games. L.A. 5-1 win in Game 2. Yamamoto was great, back-to-back complete games for him. So Dodgers now back tied at 1. And we head out west, and let's see what we have tonight for our blowout special.
Oh, boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Blue Jays looking to get their offense going after the big 6th inning in Game 1. They got 4 hits in Game 2. Lee, what do you like with his total bases tonight as he faces Tyler Glasnow?
All right, so let's look at Vlad Guerrero Jr. and the over 1.5 bases minus 110 in the game tonight. Game 3, World Series. He's the only player that rates higher in this game than Shohei Ohtani. And Ohtani's prop over 1.5 bases minus 160. Getting him at this number in a matchup like this is, I think, too good to pass up. He has a 357 batting average, 3 extra base hits against like I said, the starting pitcher tonight for the Dodgers, and has a 1.343 OPS, which is absolutely absurd, and it's actually higher than Ohtani. So I think it's a really good number here, and we're going to take Vlad Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 total bases tonight, minus 110, when Toronto takes on the Dodgers here in Game 3 of the World Series. It's going to be my blowout special.
And the Dodgers, they couldn't get the win from Blake Snell in Game 1, but Yamamoto delivers. They have Glasnow tonight. And, oh, by the way, tomorrow you get Ohtani. So we'll see how that goes in Toronto's pitching staff, which just, unfortunately, doesn't stack up to the Dodgers. You're going to have to get a good effort the next few days. They have Max Scherzer going tonight. And we'll see if Mad Max can duplicate what he did in the last round, or at least in what game, or one of the games he pitched towards the end that he pitched well. So we'll see if the Blue Jays can bounce back tonight. Lee, Monday Night Football, Commanders Chiefs wraps up Week 8, and then we turn back around for college football and another week NFL coming up Week 9. So what's going on at Paramount Sports?
Oh, a lot. I mean, we had USC last Saturday night, went 4-1 there, hit our rare 50-unit max wager there. Might have some big coming up again for the UFC this weekend. And this is what I'm going to do. I know there's a lot of people who would love to bet the NBA and hockey right now, but they're like, I'm not ready to commit for the season or even a month. I'm going to give them the opportunity. It's going to start tomorrow because there's not much going on in the NHL tonight. For 7 days, starting tomorrow, Tuesday through Monday, 7 days of NBA or NHL plays, or you can get both. 7 days, $50. Get both, pick them up. How about this? I'll do both for $77. So you want to hop on board and try us out for 7 days. We will text you those plays Tuesday through Monday. That way you can sample what we got, starting off the NBA season strong. NHL starting to figure it out there. So check that out. It's going to be a big weekend of college football in the NFL coming up this coming weekend. So, also got, like I said, UFC. Everything's coming up, fired up for this weekend, looking at the games coming down the pike. So check it out, everything. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets, as well as check out the shorts now that we have. They're quick videos, and you get the 1 minute of analysis from Lee Sterling or myself, and it is very good to just get it, go, and it's kind of like takeout picks. That's what you can kind of call it a little bit. But you can check us also out on our podcast as well. You can find on Spotify, on Apple, wherever you get your podcast, Locked On Bets. For Lee Sterling, I am Kevin Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back with you coming up on Tuesday for another edition of Locked On Bets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network.